Now, Cassie.
Yes.
Cassie, I'm not gonna lie, Cassie. I talked about you so bad about a month and a half ago.
I want to hear what you said.
When you first shaved your head off, and then the pictures of you came out naked the next week, I said, this chick is screaming for attention in a Beyonce, Rihanna world.
Really?
Yes.
And is that how you truly feel?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Right.
I
know you think it's a little
listen-
unfair to judge before you do know somebody.
I mean, I didn't judge. I was just giving my opinion because you know when they talk about Cassie, you know, you don't hear a lot of good things. That's why I kind of got to give you props for keeping your head up because they say things like, you know, you're untalented, you're not good vocally, and then when you shaved your head and came out with the naked pictures, it was like, okay, she's reaching now. But
well, I didn't put out the naked pictures. That's number one. But I did put out the pictures of my head shaved.
And that's, I mean, everybody's following you now, so you're looking like a trendsetter nowadays.
I mean, it's not even a trend. It's something I did.
How did that make you feel when you saw your nude pictures on the internet?
My heart stopped for a second. You know what I mean? It was one of those situations, but and it was a few days of just kind of hell.
Well, why would you let a dude take pictures of you like that, knowing that you're Cassie? Because the pictures weren't old.
I took them and sent them to my boyfriend.
Really? Who was your boyfriend at the time? Diddy?
It doesn't matter.
Diddy doesn't need pictures of you naked.
It wasn't for him.
Ryan Leslie?
No, it wasn't for him.
Oh.
No.
We're going to come back to you, young lady. We're here. Okay. We got Cassie and we got...
didn't even hear what you said.
Cassie, you got to speak up now, Cassie, because all I know about you is that you got a shaved head and naked pictures on the internet.
What would you like to know about me?
I want to get to know Cassie.
Because I think you judged me before you met me, so it's kind of hard for me to open
Cassie,
up to you.
I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, I did.
Okay.
Because when
I appreciate you saying that.
I really did, because like I hear you, and I don't hear nothing. Like the music, I like the Must Be Love record, but vocally I saw you sing live one time, and I was like, yo, she sucks.
Right.
And then
I had a moment.
And then I started hearing all the rumors about you sleeping with Diddy, so I said to myself, that's how she got on.
And that's just that's it.
I left it alone after that. The next thing I know, you had a shaved head,
right?
And your vagina was on the internet.
Okay.
So I mean,
and that's a little vulgar, don't you think?
What?
For you to just say it like that, because I clearly didn't put it out.
But it was there. I mean, deny that wasn't yours.
No, I mean, I never deny that it was me.
So it can't be vulgar if it's the truth. Like I just said.
Yeah, but it's just so judgmental. You don't know me at all.
So that's why I'm trying to get to know you, baby.
But it's hard when you're just not giving me anything to give you.
Well, tell me about Cassie. Who is Cassie?
Who is Cassie? 22 years old. Moved to New York at 18. Model. Got into singing. I live by coastal. Doing my second album, mixing and mastering it now. I did a film. I had a first album come out, went overseas, did really well. A lot of performances. I mean, I don't know. I'm chill.
What happened between you and Ryan Leslie? I know that's who you first came on the scene with.
I work with Ryan Leslie.
I mean, are y'all still working together now?
Yeah, we did stuff for this album now. But he's doing his artist thing now.
Yeah, I know he's got Chris Ivory, very talented young lady from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Who else you got working on this album with you?
I did a record with Pharrell. I did a record with Akon. I did stuff with Danger. Who else? This is just a mix of new people. Some Eric Hudson. A lot of different people.
As a young 22-year-old woman, do you feel like, you know...
YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy, Run Over Boss, and I'm headed to work, man, but I got another topic I want to talk about, and I don't see too many people speaking on this. I see a lot of people speaking on the Cassie Puff Daddy trial. I see a lot of people speaking on the Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez situation. But in both of those situations, I'm going to tell you what I've been noticing. I've been watching The Breakfast Club, and Laura, whatever her name is, that new person that she had a little beef with Jeff Hilarious for a little bit. But you know what I'm saying, she do her thing. She do a lot of the reporting, and she been going to the court for the trial and stuff like that. But she's real good on the show, because she give every little detail of what's going down in the Puff Daddy trial and everything, and she do a hell of a job. You know, The Breakfast Club picked up a good person. But one thing I've been noticing on every topic, it seems like if you ask me, Charlamagne the God is compromised. He always been acting a little compromised, you know what I'm saying? He rides one way with this person, and then if he mess with you, he rides one way with the other person. Like, I remember back in the day, he was doing an interview, Benny Siegel had came on his show, and he had did an interview with Benny Siegel, and when Benny Siegel was taking shots at Jay-Z. Then later on, when Charlamagne the God get a little bit more popular, you know, and he's on the Breakfast Club now, he invite Benny Siegel on the show, and then he calls him a hater. Like, every time something don't work out with you, you you look like a hater. He tell him he's looking like a hater. So in certain situations, he be looking compromised to me. If he likes the person, he's not going to speak on the person. If he don't like the person, he's going to speak on the person. And at one time, the Breakfast Club was, I think they was under Revolt, you know what I'm saying, which is owned by Puff Daddy. He didn't have no problem with Puff Daddy. Puff would come on the show and everything. So now, every time I see any topic about Puff Daddy, anytime I see any topic like with Tory Lanez or anything, he's taking the other side. Like Laura, she was, I hopefully I'm saying her name right, but she was on the show talking about how in the trial, how the defense was kicking butt, how the prosecutor was looking bad, and he was just so push the Cassie way. It's like everything he was saying, like, yeah, that's not gonna mean nothing. It don't matter what they say when they see the video, and I'm sitting up here looking like.
No, but she said she already has contextualized that. She contextualized that her first couple of days in court by saying, I did whatever I had to do and said what I had to say in order not to get my freaking face beat.
But I think so seeing that, and that's what I'm saying, because like for instance, there was one section 2009, that's the one where she says to correct it, that's the one where she directly says I'm always down to freak off, and then later she talks about how she wants it to be like, she wants it dirty, like she wants it aggressive, she wants it whatever. So that, you know why they did that, because they're trying to show if he was aggressive at all. She asked for that, but
she was down with it.
Yeah, but I just think that like in the text messages leading up to that Intercontinental video, he was so gentle in the conversation. Like there was no.
Like, I mean, he's not on trial for the video, so what do you keep bringing that up for? You know what I'm saying? It's not making no sense to me. So he keeps doing that. Like if you watch Charlamagne, it's like Charlamagne, to tell you the truth, it's like Charlamagne want Puff Daddy in jail for some kind of reason. You know what I'm saying? He's really pushing it. Even when old girl on the show be trying to tell you about the situation, he's joking. He makes a joke out about it every time, and she's talking about something serious. So I be starting to look at stuff like that, and I be like, Charlamagne is super compromised, because even when she was bringing up the situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez talking about the new evidence.
And you just look at the evidence. Megan's testimony, medical records that confirm she had bullet fragments in her feet, the apologetic jail call from Tory, the neighbor who testified that they saw Tory fire the gun, the forensic evidence because the gun used in the shooting was found in Tory's vehicle. The DNA was inconclusive, but that was the evidence the jury used to convict him. So I just asked two simple questions. If you know they have all that evidence against you, if you're Tory Lanez, why wouldn't you just take the stand and simply say Kelsey shot her? And what reason would Megan have not to tell on Kelsey?
I agree with you 1,000%. But if this is a fact and this is true, what this bodyguard is saying, I think it should be listened to see if it's proven or not, regardless, because it could open up some other things.
He jumped. Like, you have to watch the interview. He jumped straight to defending Megan. And on the other end with the Cassie thing, he's jumping to defend Cassie.
On blah, blah, blah. All of that's going to go out the window.
But they're going to have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt.
Well, one of them, yes.
And if they're going to have to prove all that without a little bit of doubt that she enjoyed it or she liked it, it's going to be difficult.
That's my whole thing is everything you're saying, I agree with.
Videos too.
Yeah, they do have videos, but they
need
also.
A video of him forcing her.
They have videos. They said that they have audios and they said they have a lot more. So, again, this was just the first day. But I will say, y'all talking about that shadow of doubt. His team was just really good at opening up that, hey, y'all got to do a little bit more to prove this.
And, you know, Envy said forcing her. Man, running after her in the hallway, grabbing her, trying to drag her ass back is definitely
because they brought that back up. They replayed that part of the video twice.
But what they're saying is they're proving that it was an argument based off a phone. So that was a domestic case that they're saying that he's guilty of.
Got an eyewitness named Cassie that's going to say otherwise.
And now listen, I heard that, so I wouldn't be for sure Cassie's getting on stand this week, but I heard that it will possibly be today because we were trying to figure out how pregnant she is. I'm hearing she's due like first week of June. So
damn.
Yeah, so
them visuals gonna be there's gonna be some crazy optics. A pregnant woman on stand crying, talking about abuse that she used to endure. And you're gonna look like a real asshole if you a defense pressing her.
But they're gonna have
for some reason it's like he won't Puff Daddy in jail for all these things they charged him with, the sex trafficking, which I haven't seen what they talking about. Like watching the Diddy trial, I don't know what they charged him with. I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? They're all over the place. I seen Laura talking about they was trying to build they just trying to put this out in the earth so they can come back to it and prove the sexual trafficking charges, but I'm still not getting it all I see is a lot of domestic abuse. That's all I see. I see a couple that was toxic. Both of them was doing drugs, and it was a lot of domestic abuse on Puff Daddy's side. But you're not charging them for domestic abuse. So I don't know. I'm sitting up here just watching it like, is this trial just about Cassie tape, or what is it about? I thought it was about sex trafficking and all that thing. You know, I'm not really understanding lately what the trial is about. I don't know if they bringing everybody they put on stand is talking about the abuse Cassie suffered. Okay, charge him for that. Lock him up for putting his hands on a woman, but you cannot just charge him for something else because you're mad at that. But with Charlamagne, to go back to Charlamagne has a charge that happened years ago with a female where she was accusing him of rape. You know what I'm saying?
Like this man that we see on or hear on the radio every day, that we see on the internet, that we see on our TV screens, that we see on the red carpets, this is not who he really is.
Charlamagne the God is one of the most hated radio hosts in America's history, especially when people look at how he talks to guests on The Breakfast Club. But Charlamagne has a dark past that should be at the forefront of why he is disliked in the industry. Today, we're uncovering the truth about what happened to Jessica Reed, a woman who bravely came forward disclosing horrific details of a night she had with him. After further research into her story and seeing how traumatized she remains to this day, it becomes important to expose the truth about how Charlamagne shattered this poor girl's life. Charlamagne meets Jessica. Jessica Reed was a 15-year-old girl when she met Charlamagne through her friend, Rico. After the meeting, they exchanged contacts and Charlamagne started to show interest in her. She turned him down because she was just 15 and he was 20, so he claimed. Jessica said he stopped showing romantic interest in her after she denied him and said they remained platonic friends. Jessica and Charlamagne went out a lot together, but always with friends. It was never a solo date. She eventually started trusting Charlamagne and started to feel like they were siblings because he treated her as such, only if she knew what was ahead. The first question would be, why is Charlamagne hanging out with a 15-year-old high school student? What exactly are you discussing with a 15-year-old as an adult? But in 2001, not many people had questions, as Charlamagne and Jessica continued to blossom in their friendship. Then on June 9, 2001, Charlamagne invited her to her birthday party. And although Jessica never really wanted to go, she was pressured, and that was where things turned ugly. The party.
I think I was like 20. I was 20 years old. My cousin had just graduated from high school, and he had got a scholarship to Penn State University. And I had a party, and I had all of these chicks at a party. Like I was doing overnights I was working at Z93 then, so I had all these chicks there that I met through radio, and chicks that my dudes had known.
Jessica Reed attended the party with her sister-in-law at the time. When they got to the house, she was uncomfortable because of the presence of so many men. It seemed like a sausage fest with a sprinkle of girls here and there. But since she was already there and likely didn't want to ruin Charlamagne's night, Jessica stayed. Charlamagne asked Jessica if she wanted a drink. She refused at first, but he kept on insisting. She gave in when the pressure got too much, and Charlamagne prepared the drinks for her and her friend. After her sister-in-law finished her drink, she immediately started vomiting. Jessica apparently had only drank half her cup and tried to stand up, but instead collapsed to the ground, unable to move her limbs. In a state of intoxication, Jessica heard Charlamagne laugh and say, "Take her ass upstairs." The girl's drinks were spiked with something called Spanish fly, and Charlamagne even spoke about it in an interview, admitting what he did to their drinks.
Hey, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I got this girl real drunk, and
That sounds a little fishy.
I
got her drunk.
I didn't just get her drunk. I remember I went to the sex store and got Spanish fly. They sell it in the sex store. I'm telling the truth.
Although Jessica couldn't move, she still knew what was going on and knew that she was in an upstairs bathroom. There were two men holding her up and began to grope and penetrate her with their hands. After they had done what they wanted with her, she ended up in a bed. Charlamagne walked into the room and took her clothes off, and then also took advantage of her.
When does so the men are coming in and out. When does Charlamagne, were you assaulted by anybody else besides Larry and Boo that night? Besides Larry, Boo, and Charlamagne? Anybody else? So when did he enter the bathroom? Did he enter the room? So what happened?
He did. He came into the bathroom and he picked me up.
And accusing him of her being sexually assaulted. And he don't want to speak on that. You know, every time somebody speaks on it or anybody says anything about it, he shun it, he throw it to the side. He don't really want to speak about that too much. I be noticing that. He never speaks on it. Every time somebody tried to bring up anything that was going on with that case, he sends them, he sends something from his lawyer to stop it from coming out. Like he's trying to disguise it, he's trying to hide it, like that didn't happen in his life. Like supposedly back in the day, Charlamagne the God got an underage girl some alcohol, took her to a party where she ended up getting taken advantage of, and she ended up getting sexual assaulted. And she tried to file charges on him, which Charlamagne ended up having to go down there. He say he had did a DNA kit. I watched Star and Buckwild. He was saying that was a lie. He didn't do that. He just ended up pleading to a lesser charge. But the girl saying he did that to her, and nobody speaks on it. I never see anybody speak on it. And when somebody do speak on it, they send out a cease and desist. They take it off the books. Like nobody want to speak on it. He's covering it up. And I don't know why when somebody walks on the show and he's trying to go at them, why they don't never flip it back on them. Like, what's going on? You got a funny case. What's going on with your case? Like, you so dead set on, oh man, now Diddy did it. Like, it's just like it ain't even know. Like, even though the Laura on the show is giving a lot of evidence, which you would kind of look at it funny. Even if you don't believe Puff Daddy, even if you don't believe Tory, you would give it a look. Like she's making a compelling argument on a lot of things she's talking about, and he just shunning it to the side. Oh no, they're not gonna believe that, man. They're gonna believe Cassie. Like once you see that video, they already got it in their mind. But if you ask me, what the video has to do with what he's getting charged with, I want to know what's going on with the sex trafficking. I want to know what he's getting charged with. Like if he's getting charged with that crime, like stop getting up here talking about all this domestic fighting with his girlfriend type of stuff. Like y'all trying to do it. Like this dude was enterprise making money off crime, like he's got like a mafia kind of thing going on. Man, this dude made all his money with selling records, producing, and alcohol, clothing line. We done seen this guy sit up here and make this money. Don't try to make it seem like everything this guy did successful. He was running a dirty enterprise where this is where he was getting all this money at. Like we can't sit up here and allow these guys to tear this guy's legacy down. Like if you want to charge him with being a violent, abusive person, I'm all for that. You shouldn't put your hand on women. But if that's what you're charging them for, charge them for that. Stop putting all these people on the stand trying to prove a sex trafficking ring and all this stuff, this crazy stuff you going on, trying to get this dude life in prison because he was a freak. And I just don't understand Charlamagne. Like I say, Charlamagne got a case that he don't never want to talk about. But every time she brings up the topic, she's in the courtroom telling him about the case. He's quick to jump in real quick and try to make a joke or something, talk about some baby oil. He's quick to try to shun it off. Like when they watch the tape, it's over. Like even with the Tory Lane thing, he got convicted in a court of law. How many people convicted in a court of law that didn't do it? Like, you know, how many people they find out later on that they didn't do it? How it's looking for Tory Lane, it don't look like he did it. And it look like she's following through with the lie constantly, leaving this man in prison. This man could have lost his life. And on the other end, this guy, Puff Daddy, his life finna be ruined. Everything he done worked for, his legacy and everything finna be ruined. And if it's based on abuse, domestic violence, let me lock him in jail. I wouldn't care. If you locking him up for beating up this woman for 30 years, I wouldn't care. Lock him up. Like you put your hand on women, if you're gonna charge them with that and lock them up for that, that's blatantly clear. But don't try to, you hit sex trafficking and all this crazy nonsense. It ain't got nothing to do with what was going on. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here wasn't sex trafficking. Y'all making it seem like this dude was running prostitutes from state to state. And I'm not with that. But watch the Breakfast Club sometimes and watch how biased Charlamagne is a lot of times. Like sometimes he don't even fully hear the evidence, and he's already jumping on the boat of, oh man, he's guilty, man. They didn't prove this, they didn't prove that. I just be noticing it lately, and I want to just bring it up because he has a case of his own he needs to talk about while he's sitting up here acting like he's the good guy, like he never did nothing in his life. You know what I'm saying? Like he's, oh man, I put him in jail. Man, talk about your case. Why you don't never bring your case up? But man, I just had to talk about that, man. I'll be watching the Breakfast Club and I see that. But that reporter girl they got, man, she's good, man. I see why they kept her. But man, tell me how you feel about Charlamagne the God being biased. And I'm gonna put some clips on this video so y'all check it out. I don't know if y'all be noticing this, but check it out, man. Like, comment, subscribe on my video, man, and I'm out.